Once upon a time, in a small village in ancient Japan, there was a young man named Koji who was known for his bravery. He was admired by many, but he himself was not entirely free from fear. He had always wondered how it would feel to be truly fearless. One day, Koji decided to seek out a wise old monk who was rumored to have achieved enlightenment. He traveled for many days to reach the remote monastery where the monk lived. When he arrived, he was greeted warmly by the monk and invited to share a cup of tea. Koji told the monk about his desire to be fearless, and the monk smiled gently. "Fearlessness is not something you can acquire like a possession," he said. "It is something you must discover within yourself." The monk told Koji a story. Once there was a young warrior who was afraid of his own shadow. He was skilled with a sword, but he could never bring himself to use it in battle. One day, he went to a wise old sage and asked for advice. The sage said, "My dear boy, I cannot teach you to be fearless, but I can give you a task that will help you discover the source of your fear." He gave the young warrior a small bag and said, "This bag contains a feather. I want you to carry it with you at all times. When you feel fear, take out the feather and look at it, then put it back in the bag and continue on your way." The young warrior did as he was told, and over time he began to feel less afraid. He realized that the feather was just a feather, and his fear was only in his mind. He became more confident in his abilities and eventually became a great warrior. Koji listened intently to the story, but he didn't quite understand how it related to his own desire to be fearless. The monk saw the confusion on his face and said, "The feather represents your fear. It is small and insignificant, but it looms large in your mind. If you can learn to see it for what it is, you will be able to overcome it." Koji nodded thoughtfully, and the monk continued, "But remember, fear is not always a bad thing. It can be a warning sign that helps you avoid danger. The key is to recognize when fear is holding you back and when it is protecting you." Koji spent several days at the monastery, meditating and reflecting on the monk's words. He realized that his fear was often irrational, and that he had the power to control it. He left the monastery feeling more confident and at peace than he had ever been before. Years later, Koji became a respected leader in his village. He was known for his courage and his ability to face any challenge with grace and composure. He still felt fear from time to time, but he had learned to see it as a teacher, not an enemy. And so, the lesson of the wise old monk and the young warrior with the feather was passed down through the generations, inspiring others to be fearless in the face of adversity.